So, good evening, ma. We are going to start CMA Final Group 3 regular coaching with respect to June 2026 attempt. So, December 2025 batch already started, and very soon for that batch syllabus is going to be completed also. Okay, with respect to Group 3 I am talking about. So you might have already have the information with respect to what kind of subjects in group 3 we are going to start, and what are the subjects we are going to start in group 4. Two subjects from group 3 and two subjects from group 4 we are going to start, and especially in group 3. Why? Because I'm going to deal with only paper number 13. Paper number 13, corporate and economic laws. So, as a formal introduction, this is Sai Kumar, having 10 plus years of experience in teaching and training students of CA, CMA, CS, USA CMA, ACCA at various levels, foundation, inter, final, like that. Okay. So, when it comes to CMA final, group 3 coaching, so I'm going to deal with paper number 13. So, entire paper number 13, corporate and economic laws, is going to deal by me only exclusively. So, this is with respect to subject introduction, and you very well know that in group 3 two papers, DT and CEL, is going to start. So in CEL, actually, so being it is first day, I'm going to give a brief introduction with respect to chapters. So what kind of acts you are going to learn, and what kind of subject or what kind of components are there in that acts. So as you all know, I think you have completed CMA Inter. That means you must be having complete idea with respect to CMA curriculum, especially relating to law. If you compare CA Interlaw and CMA Interlaw, CA Interlaw seems to be very easy, and it's actually very easy. CMA Interlaw, it is very vast. It is quantitatively very high. So number of acts involved in CMA Interlaw, paper number 5, if I am not wrong, 5 or 6. So paper number that business laws. So in that curriculum in CMA Inter used to include corporate laws, that means Companies Act, LLP, business laws, introduction to constitution and contract act, advanced contract act, sale of goods act, negotiable instruments act, partnership act. And when it comes to industrial laws, factories act to bonus code on wages, everything. So lot of laws are there in CMA Inter. Here also, in CMA final also, if you compare with the previously used to be CA final law, now CA final, CA final says law subject is not there, but previous comparison also used to be CA final law used to be very easy when compared with CMA final law, and they conveniently eliminated a law subject in final level and introduced a lot of components and made the CA foundation level law paper very tough. That's why if you compare, above 65% of CA foundation failures are from law subject only. They don't fail in accounts, or they don't fail in remaining subjects. They will fail in law. So that is a different strategy. Of course, that is also one of the welcoming step only. At initial level only they will filter. Foundation level, they will set the standards on a very high note. Inter also, they did the same thing. Set the standards on a very high note and conveniently eliminated law subject in final law. But there is another reason why law subject is eliminated from CA curriculum. I'll tell you that thing on off record. And when it comes to CMA stage, so you have 4 subjects in one group. You don't have 3 subjects in one group. Being you are having 4 subjects in one group. The first subject is paper number 13, corporate and economic laws. In this corporate and economic laws, The same situation you have faced in CMA Inter, you are going to face the same situation in CMA Final also. That means this subject is a very vast subject, quantitatively very high. But there is a good thing. What is that good thing is, qualitatively, it is very easy to understand and easy to analyze and easy to qualify also. And the minimum target set for every student in our classes exclusively is 60 marks. You can take the relevant feedback from already completed students also, what they are aiming for in especially paper number 13. The minimum aim is to get exemption 60 plus marks, not pass marks 40, 45, 50, not like that. And it is quite practically possible to fetch that marks if you properly use the resources available, or whatever the resources we are providing with. We will provide with materials. I'm going to in detail discuss. I'm going to discuss in detail with respect to materials. Three books will come: module 1, module 2, and question bank also. That means workbook will also come, including MCQs from past papers also. I'll involve the discussion at a later point of time. I think module 1, did they give any materials with respect to module 1? Okay, no problem. Module 1 and module 2 both are available. They'll give. So I'll discuss materials later. Now, subject discussion. So paper number 13, corporate laws and economic laws. So corporate laws, 3 components are there in your syllabus. In corporate laws, they have included 3 components. And the weightage assigned to this corporate laws is 60%. That means 60 marks. So corporate laws, first one, as you very well know, what is the first act? Companies Act 2013. Companies Act 2013. So it is going to have a predominant weightage in your final syllabus. And in Companies Act, 9 subdivisions are there. Chapters, 9 chapters. I'll tell what are those 9 chapters and all. And the second one is very, very important, and it is favorite act from students also. Why? Because by placing or by investing minimal efforts, you can fetch more marks from this act. What is that act? Is IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC 2016. And the third one is corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, and sustainable development. So these are the 3 components of corporate laws, which comprises of 60% weightage conveniently in your paper number 13. What is the name of paper number 13? Corporate and economic laws. What discussion we have completed? Corporate laws. What is the leftover portion? Economic laws. This is the confusing part, or this is the problem making part for many students. What to cover and what not to cover is also very important thing. Many students will face failure in paper number 13 at final level only because of not having proper knowledge with respect to economic laws. Very important. Okay, so first 60% weightage is allocated to which part, ma? Corporate laws. So corporate laws 60%. And what are the components of corporate laws? First one, Companies Act. Second one is IBC. Third one is CG, CSR, SD. CG means corporate governance. CSR, corporate social responsibility. SD, sustainable development. So I'm going to tell you the teaching order also. First, with which act we will start. In that act also, from which concept we are going to start, I'll tell you. After that, that will be discussed in teaching order. Now I am discussing just curriculum. First 60% corporate loss. Obviously remaining 40% economic loss. So in economic loss, lot of acts are there. As I said earlier, quantitatively your curriculum is very, very high. Quantitatively, not qualitatively. Especially economic loss, it seems to be very difficult on a plain side, but it is actually very easy. I'll make these subjects or I'll make this loss on a very easy note. You will feel no difficulty in entire coaching with respect to paper number 13. That is my promise. So with respect to economic loss, sir, what are the components that are there in economic loss? First one, SEBI. SEBI guidelines with respect to IPO, SEBI guidelines with respect to takeover code, SEBI guidelines with respect to insider trading. These are the three subtopics that are there in your curriculum. SEBI, IPO. In IPO only big book building process and all will be discussed. That is IPO. Second one is insider trading. Second one is what? Insider trading. And the third one, takeover code. TOC, takeover code. These are the three components. Okay. This is with respect to SEBI. Next one, Competition Act. Competition Act 2002. Competition Act is sufficient. Competition Act 2002. Competition Act 2002. Next one, FEMA. Foreign Exchange Management Act. What is the next one, ma? FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. So with respect to FEMA also, from your examinations point of view, it is very important. FEMA is also very important from examinations point of view. So these three laws, SEBI, competition, FEMA, will play a crucial role in your entire economic loss portion. Even though you properly cover corporate loss and in economic loss, if you cover these three, it will be more than enough to get exemption. Okay, so next one. Let's take these three as one bunch or one set. Okay, next one, loss relating to banking sector and loss relating to insurance sector. This is one of the most overrated topics in your curriculum. As far as my opinion is concerned, you have to cover these laws. Loss relating to banking sector and loss relating to insurance sector. You can allocate C category like that. You will distribute the syllabus no on A, B, C like that. So this is not C category also, it is Z category. A, B, C, D like that. Last category, that is Z category. You may place a minute attention or minimal amount of investment. You can invest minimal amount of time on discussing these banking and insurance law. We are going to discuss in our classes, that is for sure. But from your examination point of view, I am saying no need to worry about these two laws. Why? Because in banking laws, three subtopics are there. BRA, Banking Regulation Act 1949, which you have learned, somewhat you have learned on Advanced Accounting CMA Inter Group 2. Banking, insurance, electricity companies accounts you have did now. So banking sector laws, BRA, Banking Regulation Act 1949 is there. RBI, with respect to RBI, some sort of introduction they have given in your syllabus, and SURFICE code, SURFICE Act. Anyone know the full form of SURFICE? SURFICE Act. So securitization and reconstruction of financial asset and enforcement of security interest. Tell me. Tell me. Securitization and reconstruction of financial asset. Reconstruction of what kind of assets? So SARFAESI Act deals exclusively only with financial assets, not with real estate or not with some other assets, only with financial assets. So securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of security interest. Enforcement of security interest. So this will be called as SARFAESI Act 2000. So you will automatically will be able to remember the names and all. No need to specially mug up. So these are the three laws that are there in banking sector. And insurance, two laws are there, IRDA and Insurance Act. So these two laws are there, banking sector laws and insurance. Total 3 plus 2, 5. And maximum you can expect 4 marks from these 5 laws. So is it a worthy deal to cover 5 acts to get 4 to 5 marks? Why? Because anyway, 120 plus, for 120 plus marks, the subject will, the question paper will be there. Out of that, maximum you may write up to 100 marks. Out of that 100 marks, maybe according to your will and wish, you will target accordingly. I mean, someone will aim at 70, 80, 60, 40, 30, 20. For 20, 30 also preparation needed. So, depending upon your preferences, you will start the preparation. So my aim is to, my aim or on a personal note, my suggestion is to prepare for exemption, minimum aim should be 60, and it will be quite possible. So even though I don't know whether you are comfortable with law or not, why? Because it is completely depends upon your preparation and the previous faculty and whatever the past experience you are having. I don't want to discuss all these things. Why? Because past is past. I don't want to degrade anyone. I don't want to exaggerate the things. I'm just letting you know that there is a big scoring opportunity that is existed in paper number 13. That's it. And you can, if you focus properly and if you utilize the resources properly, it is quite possible for each and everyone that are presented in the class that you can easily gain exemption, 60 plus marks. That is my promise. For that thing, you have to do something. What? For classes, you have to regularly attend. Regularly means at least more than 95% or more than 90% at least attendance you have to maintain. Your students will be there. For one class he will be there, for another class he won't be there. After 2 to 3 sessions, 4th session he will come. What is the use? So the continuity should be maintained between the classes. Why? Because you are investing your time and monetary resources for coaching. You are unable to invest proper time and monetary resources for coaching. What is the aim of coaching? That is why, for good or bad, you took a decision. Let's implement the decision. Don't keep on switching between the, don't keep on switching the decisions. You have take a decision, just implement it. That's it. So say for example 7 to 8:30 class schedule, morning 7 o'clock to 8:30. Environment is like that. Say for example, if weather is like this, 50% of class will not be there. Online access will be provided, right? Yes, we can cover the classes at a later point of time. Let's sleep peacefully. Why? Because in order to attend 7 o'clock class, at least you have to wake up at 6:15 or 6:30 at least. Boys may wake up at 6:55 also, that is a different thing. So leave your laziness at least till the completion of coaching, at least. Okay, so maintain some consistent attendance for the classes. That is the first thing you have to do after joining to the classes. That is the first thing you have to do. Second one, follow only one author. Only one author. Don't try to keep or don't try to cover multiple author materials. Why? Because it will create unnecessary confusion. In coaching, I'll tell you what are the confusing provisions, what are the debatable areas, what are the areas which cause unnecessary confusion or unnecessary mess for the students while they're in their individual preparation. I'm going to tell. At that time, you will understand why I told you earlier that you should not follow multiple authors. This thing, and your material has been deliberately prepared within, I think, 220 or 225 pages. Entire corporate and economic laws has been prepared just within 225 pages. That is actually Hercules thing. You can find any other book, any other material which is available in market. No material is less than 300 pages, or at least not 300 or something. No material will be less than my book. I'm not saying that I deleted some topics and I have included only few topics. That's why size of the material is very low. No, I have included all the topics which are relevant for your discussion and examinations. Covered, completely covered. If you are able to cover that concept book, module 1 and module 2, which is comprised of 210 to 220 pages roughly, that is more than enough to get more than exemption marks. 60 plus marks you can easily get. Workbook is separate. This is concept book I am talking about. Workbook, question and answers, MCQs. Anyway, you will be having MCQs in your exam, no? 30 marks. Right. So that's why I'm saying that banking sector laws and insurance sector laws, you may invest minimum time or minute efforts. You place on a plain note. You just cover on a plain note. That's it. In-depth analysis, complete coverage of banking and insurance sector laws will fetch max 2 MCQs for you. That 2 MCQs you can cover by preparing last 10 attempts MCQs or previous paper MCQs or institute resource MCQs. In order to cover that 2 MCQs, complete coverage of that laws are not required. Hardly you may get one 7 marks question. That 7 marks question you can take it as choice. Why? Because you are not going to attempt for 120 plus marks. No. That is the thing. That is why I am saying that. And one more thing, why I am saying that please follow only one author book. I recently came across a banking and insurance sector laws, the concept notes designed by one author. That author is a somewhat well known, not very well known, somewhat well known faculty in India. I'm talking about national level faculty, not gully level or something else. So that so-called author designed 92 pages material for banking and insurance. So, okay, I'm not trying for Guinness World Record and all. If I try for Guinness World Record in the size of the material, I too can also add lot of topics. But ultimately students will suffer by covering the material and all. So that is not required, ma. We have to consciously prepare and we have to maintain the size of the material as low as possible. Then only students will be interested. Then only some sort of positive opinion will be momentum will be occurred towards the subject. Say for example, after your registration, you received this much of books. Your moral confidence will be dead at that point only. Oh, I am going to cover in all these books. That is not required. So no one is aiming for Guinness World Records and all. That much coverage is not required. Those books and conceptual notes are created just to bombard for regular coaching and all. So they will promote. They will be having different aim. See, this much content we are providing for our regular students. So we will provide like this and all. So maybe that is their working strategy. So every theory has its own defects, ma. As far as my theory is concerned, as per my theory, it is a student friendly theory. Why? Because I have maintained the size of the notes and concepts to the extent as much as required. That is the only things I have included in the material. No unnecessary discussions and examples. Second thing, we are providing with workbook MCQs. Third thing, we are going to cover 100% of syllabus in the classes. Then why student will fail? Obviously student will aim for exemption. So if you are able to get one exemption, one subject exemption in one group, it will create a positive momentum for entire upcoming exams also. Say for example 40, 40, 50, 60. 50, 60 how much? 110. 40, 40 only, so 80, 190. So you came till 190 by scoring only 40, 40 in two subjects. But how 190 possible? 60 came in one subject. That is the effect of exemption. Say for example 60, 60. Two subjects you aim for exemption. Remaining, even though the remaining subjects are passed on a border level, that is 40 and 40, is said to be you qualified that group. That is the effect of exemption. That is why I'll always suggest students to aim for exemption at least 1 to 2 subjects in your entire group. It will create the aura for the entire group. That too, paper number 13 is the first exam you are going to face in the group 3 examinations. Of course, CMA final exams will start with paper number 13 only. That is the deciding factor for a lot of students. Whether he is going to write the next exam or not, paper number 13 will decide. That is why paper number 13 is the most crucial exam. That is why I am saying that don't unnecessarily invest your time and efforts on unnecessary topics. Prioritize the topics. So according to that priority, as per my view, banking sector laws, insurance sector laws, not that much required. We are going to discuss the same in classes. We are going to give complete coaching. We are going to provide material, MCQs, question banks, everything. Whether you are going to cover or not, from examination point of view, being weightage is less, it is up to the prerogative of the student whether to cover it in an extensive manner or take it on a light manner. That is what I am saying. Okay, so this is with respect to banking sector laws and laws relating to insurance sector. And few more laws also there. Next, MSME, Super Duper Act. MSME, laws relating to MSME. Actually, it will be called as MSMED Act 2006. Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006. MSMED Act 2006. So don't need to write the full name and all. That is why I will mention simply it as MSME. MSME. And cyber laws. Laws relating to cyber sector. Information Technology Act and all, and what are cyber crimes, definition of cyber crimes, modes of cyber crimes, examples and all, discussion relating to everything will be included in this cyber laws. And last but not least, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Prevention of what? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So these are the acts that are there in your curriculum, and all these acts, that means not this box, 1, 2, 3, all these 3 boxes will fetch you 40%. Just 3 acts will fetch you 60%. Clear? So that is the thing with respect to paper number 13 structure. And I'll do one thing, just wait. So this is your paper number, that board material. I think you all are very well aware about this board material. So paper number 13, first one, Companies Act, Section A, corporate laws, weightage how much ma? 60%. Next one, 40% for economic loss. 60% loss comprised of Companies Act 2013, IBC 2016, CGCSR SD, Sustainability Development. Next one, Section B, SEBI, Competition, FEMA. So these 3, one set. Okay. Next one, laws relating to banking, insurance, another set. Next, MSME, cyber laws, PMLA. That is what we have discussed in this That is the same, no, what we have discussed in this discussion paper. 60% corporate loss, Companies Act, IBC, CGCSR, SD. 40% economic loss. First three one set, next two one set, last three one set. Okay, so sir, what is the teaching order? How we are going to deal with paper number 13? Which loss we are going to study first, which loss we are going to study last? So obviously we are going to start Companies Act first. That is open fact. But what we are going to start after Companies Act, that is very important. Why? Because being it is a heavy weightage and high voltage act, we can't pay a blind eye towards Companies Act 2013. That is very crucial for your entire qualification. That is why obviously we are going to start Companies Act 2013. After that, IBC we are going to start. Insolvency, Bankruptcy Code. In Companies Act also a lot of subtopics are there. I'm going to tell you, wait. After that, CGCSR, SD. So hardly within coming 45 days. Within coming 45 days, that is September end. By September end. This is August, no, August 17th, 18th, 19th today, 18th. Probably by September end, we will complete 60% of the corporate loss. Sorry, 60% of the paper number 13 syllabus, that is corporate loss. So entire corporate loss will be covered by 30 September. I am not challenging, or I am not saying Basti mein sawal by 30 September will be completed. In marathons, we will complete entire syllabus in 1 week. So completion is not important. Understandability and compatibility is very important. So on a comfortable and calm note, we can complete. It is possible to complete 60% of the entire curriculum by 30 September. That is what I am saying. Okay. So next one, economic loss teaching order. First of all, we will discuss Competition Act, not SEBI. First of all, we will discuss Competition Act. After that, MSME. First of all, Competition Act. After that, MSME. Depending upon the understandability and cooperation coming from students, then we will decide the remaining teaching order, whether to start SEBIA or FEMA or cyber loss and PML. Depending on the circumstances, we will plan. Okay, but this plan won't change. First, Companies Act, IBC, CGCSR, competition, MSME. This is the primary teaching order. There is no change up to Companies Act, IBC, CGCSR, competition, MSME. There will be no change up to this level. After that, we can plan accordingly, according to our comfort. Okay. Sir, you said that in Companies Act, lot of subtopics are there. Yes, lot of subtopics are there. With respect to that subtopics, so in Companies Act 2013, 9 subtopics are there. How many subtopics? 9 subtopics are there. First subtopic is very important from examination point of view also. Company formation and conversion, CFC. Company formation and conversion. Whatever the concepts you have learned in intermediate, CMA intermediate, predominantly 85% of concepts will be covered in CFC. It's actually very easy. You can cover on your own also. But nothing to worry, we are going to discuss in classes. So nothing, no concept will be left for self-study, ma. That is what I am saying on a first note. Everything will be covered. Paper number 13. So CFC, company formation and conversion. Next, investments and loans. How many subtopics there that are there in Companies Act? 9. Out of that, first topic is CFC, company formation and conversion. Second one is investments and loans. Okay. Third one is dividends. Third one is what? Dividends. Third one is dividends. Next one, accounts and audit. accounts and audit. So these 4 topics are one set. Sir, why these 4 topics are one set? You will come to know the reason at a later point of time. So these 4 topics are one set. What are the 4 topics, ma? Company formation and incorporation, company formation and conversion, investments and loans, dividends, accounts and audit. These 4 topics, one set. Second thing, directors and KMP. Directors and KMP. Key managerial persons. Key managerial persons. Directors and KMP. Okay. Next one, board meetings and procedures. Board meetings and procedures. Board meetings and procedures. Okay, these 2 topics are another set. These 2 topics are different set. Board meetings and procedures, directors and KMP. Sir, why these 2 topics are another set? Why? Because around in some attempts from entire Companies Act questions, I am not talking about entire paper. I'm talking about paper. I'm not talking about Companies Act weightage. From entire Companies Act weightage, around 60% or more weightage questions has been asked from these 2 chapters only. Only these 2 chapters. Out of that 9 chapters, these 2 chapters will play a crucial role in the entire curriculum. What are the 2 topics? Directors and KMP, board meetings and procedures. Directors and KMP, board meetings and procedures. Very, very important from examination point of view. How many topics completed so far? 6 topics. How many topics that are there in Companies Act? 9 subtopics. Out of 9, 6 completed. First one, CFC, company formation and conversion, investments and loans, dividends, accounts and audit, directors and KMP. Next, last 3 topics are there. Actually, these 3 topics form a different set altogether. First one is inquiry, inspection, investigation. Okay, being you are writing, I am writing in full form actually. Inquiry, inspection, investments, investigation. Very good. So inquiry, inspection, investigation. So this is the first one. Inquiry, inspection, investigation. Second one, compromise, arrangement, amalgamation. CAA. What is CAA, ma? Compromise, arrangement, amalgamation. Compromise, arrangement, amalgamation. First one is what? Inspection. I am talking about this set only. I am talking about this set only. Set means 3 components. First one, inquiry, inspection, investigation. Next, compromise, arrangement, amalgamation. Last but not least, oppression and mismanagement. Oppression and mismanagement. Oppression and mismanagement. So these are the total 9 subtopics that are there in your curriculum of Companies Act, and conveniently these 9 topics are playing not 60, Companies Act only, no. So around 40 to minimum 40, minimum 40, 48, 40 to 48%. So maximum case you may find 55 marks also, but that is a rare case. That's why I'm not including. So even though you study only Companies Act perfectly and went to exam, there are chances that you can easily qualify, but it won't give value addition for your paper. With 40 marks, what you are supposed to do? You have to score the remaining deficit from other subjects. So why to create unnecessary pressure? Okay, so that is the thing. So Companies Act is one of the important act in your entire curriculum. So this is all about Companies Act. These are the components that we are going to discuss in coming classes. Sir, okay, components, okay. What is the teaching order? Yes. Teaching order, first of all, we are going to start with directors and KMP. Sir, why can't we start company formation and conversion, or why can't we start any other topic? No. As I said earlier, directors and KMP and board meetings and procedures are placing crucial role in your entire question paper. That is why we are able to complete the difficult topics first. The game will be very easy and interesting. And for students also, if we are able to complete the difficult topics first, for students also, more time will be available for them for revisionary purposes. And meanwhile, if they face with any doubts and all, time will be enough and sufficient for students to get clarifications from faculty also. So remember one thing, in your personal life also, face the challenges and do the difficult works first. Then the entire game or entire process or entire work will be very easy. So if you keep on procrastinating the difficult work for a later point of time, you are not going to achieve confidence. Why? Because down the line, you also know that you are keep on postponing and procrastinating the works or important things. Say for example, how many acts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 acts are there in your syllabus. 11 acts. 100 percentage. 100 percentage, I'll cover 8 acts. So if a student mentality is like that, if like this, sir, out of 8 acts, you may ask any question from any corner, sir. I'll be able to answer and fetch good marks. Sir, 3 acts I'll take choice, sir. These 3 acts I'll take choice, sir. Then your law paper revision or preparation time will be completed within 1 month. It is very easy, no? 100 percentage of coverage of 100% coverage of what we call 100 percentage means whatever the acts you have choosing, 8 acts you are choosing, right? So 100 percentage of 8 acts coverage is possible within 8 months. Sorry, within 1 month, within 1 month. But you are conveniently ignoring the highest weightage acts, saying that these acts, coverage of these acts are very high. Whatever the content these acts are delivering is very high. It is very hard for me to include, to cover these acts and all. That is why I'm taking these acts as choice. Hardly how much you will get? 40 percentage. If you attempt question paper for 40 marks, how much you may get? Okay, at least 39 marks you got. Very good. Congratulations. What is the result? So this is the effect of procrastinating difficult tasks. You have to face the difficulties first. If you have this kind of mentality, then you can easily complete any, not only, I'm not talking from law point of view or paper number 13 or Companies Act, whatever. It is a, make it as a general habit to face the challenges or to face the difficulties. Then the game will be very easy. So if you, what is the benefit you keep on postponing these 3 acts, Deep down, you also know that these 3 acts are going to play a crucial role in your entire examination. 60 percentage marks you are conveniently ignoring. So you are cheating yourself. Simply you are cheating yourself. That is why don't do such kind of stupid things. That is why I am also covering directors and KMP on a first note. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with directors and KMP only. It is a very difficult topic, directors and KMP, BOD meetings and procedures. Comparatively, in your entire curriculum, these two will plays a very crucial role from examination point of view. Why? Because these are very difficult. And testing students' knowledge in these two areas is a favorite hobby for examiner. Then what many students will do, they will cover CFC, investments and loan, dividends, accounts and audit. These bacha topics they will cover. What is the benefit? You have to face the challenge first. That is why I am confidently starting directors and KMP on a first note. Not for you, Amma, for any batch of CMA panel, I will start directors and KMP only. Even for the previous batch also, you can, if you have any friends or relatives like that, you can inquire. I am starting directors and KMP only for any batch. Even though it is difficult, it is much needed for student community. Why? Because if you are able to complete the difficult topics first, much time will be available for students to revise. I too can procrastinate, ma. What I'll do, say for example, I'll cover easy and bacha loss. Say for example, competition act I'll take. I'll discuss competition act 1 month. You can obtain enormous amount of confidence on competition act 2002. You will be able to answer any question from competition act 2002. Then you will be having a positive opinion on me. Bah, Kumar sir, excellent teaching as well. Competition act super ga cheppadu. Excellent. What is the use? One MCQ they will give in your examination, 2 marks, or hardly 2 MCQs they will give, or hardly one main question they will give 7 marks. That is also very rare thing. What you are going to do with that 4 marks or 2 marks or maximum worst case 7 marks? So I'll get good name, but I am not really helping you for your success. So aspiring good name is not needed, ma. You may think anything about me, I don't care, but I have to help you in your CMA final examination curriculum, completion of that curriculum. That is what we needed. So sooner or later you will whenever you realize that important, then you will came to know, did I done the correct thing or not. So even though it is difficult, I am going to start directors and KMP only. And do remember this question. After completion of directors and KMP, I'll ask you this question. So you can remember the time also. 5/5, exact time is 5/5, and the date is 18th August 2025. So I think 10-15 days will take conveniently for completion of one topic, directors and KMP. Actually it is a high voltage and high weightage topic also. So after 15 days or after completion of this topic, I'll ask you question, same question. So what is your experience with directors and KMP? How you felt? Easy, difficult or moderate? Like that. No need to say the answers to me. Deep down, you also know that what is your feeling with respect to the concerned chapter, whether you felt it on a light note, you are comfortable with the teaching and all, you will also come to know. But whenever you compare with other students, how they are feeling and how they are dealing with directors and KMP and board of directors, board BOD meetings and procedures, then you will realize the importance of regular coaching. Many students are in a opinion that regular coaching is a time consuming process. We have to earn more money. Why? Because they'll experience some sort of money by their stipends or by doing chota works and all, they'll experience some money. Obviously they will conveniently ignore regular coaching. Why? Because who will set all these hours in coaching? I have to complete as soon as possible. I have to earn a lot of work is pending for me. I have to start they'll obtain what fast track coaching or EO batches or marathons and all. By watching the same, they will prepare for the examinations. The pass percentage if any student opted for that mode, the pass percentage you can aspire for is hardly way less than 10 to 15 percentage. Max 10 to 15 percentage of the student. I don't say that no student is going to pass without regular coaching. There are some students, but whatever the theory which workouts for me will not be workout for you, which may not work out for her. Why? Because different students will come up with different peculiar qualities, ma. Some students like early morning sessions, so they can easily wake up at 4 o'clock, and they have the capacity to sit before the books by sharp 4:30 in the morning. But some students, night owls, they won't sleep till 4 o'clock. They'll sleep at 4 o'clock. So different students will have different tastes and priorities with respect to coaching and all. That how come one single rule applicable and one single rule is a success rule for all of them? That is why don't too much rely on shortcuts. Okay, shortcuts may helpful to some extent, but they can't take you to the required destination. So whenever you compare yourself with other students, how they are feeling with respect to directors and KMP, board of directors meetings and procedures and all, you will come to know the importance of regular coaching at that time. My own videos are there in YouTube, marathon videos and fast track classes are there with respect to same CMA final directors and KMP, board meetings and procedures and all. Can't I suggest watching the same videos and regular okay, complete it? Or hardly the duration of that video is 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Can't I complete the same directors and KMP topic tomorrow? 1.5 session, 4 to 5:30 session will be there. In 4 to 5:30, can't I complete directors and KMP? You paid fee for regular coaching. We have to show the actual coaching benefit for all of you. What your money can do for all of you in order to qualify group 3 or group 4, whatever it may be. The group you are writing, it is completely your decision. Institute is not going to play any role, or institute is not going to compel or force anyone saying that you have to write both groups only, you have to write group 4 only, 3 only. No, it's completely your decision. That is your freedom. Okay, so my promise is that you are going to experience the impact and beauty of regular coaching. Sooner or later you will realize. I'm not saying that tomorrow you will realize, day after tomorrow you will realize, but at the preparation time and at least after 50% of syllabus completion, you will realize, yes, we made a right decision, we took a right decision with respect to regular coaching. I'm not saying that institute at Shikhara only you have to join. No, I'm not saying that. Regular coaching is very much important. That is what I am saying. Relying too much on shortcuts like marathons, fast track, EVO batches, or whatever the shortcuts that are free resources available in YouTube or social media or any other resources, that it is not going to play a key role, or they are not going to help for your qualification. That is the point. So that is why we are starting with difficult topics first. What are the difficult topics in entire Companies Act? Only one topic, huh? 2 topics are there. So the teaching order goes on like this. First, directors and KMP. Obviously, second, teaching order I am talking about. First, directors and KMP. Tomorrow we are going to start the same. And board meetings and procedures. After the completion of directors chapters, we will complete. We'll start the discussion relating to BOD meetings and procedures. If we are able to complete these 2 chapters, 50% of Companies Act completed. 50%. Sir, how come 50%, sir? Total 9 topics are there, sir. You completed only 2, sir. Remaining 7. These 7 topics may seem volume wise high, but conceptual wise they are very low. I can say 60% also, but 50 or 60 doesn't matter. But majority of your work will be completed by simply revising and understanding these 2 topics. What are those 2 topics? Now, why I am giving this much of elevation to these topics. I'm not giving any elevation to any other topics, but I am completely giving lot of elevation to these topics. Directors and KMP, BOD meetings and procedures. You will realize the importance if you observe any previous examination question paper. That is the amount of weightage they are holding in your entire examination. After that, after completion of directors and KMP, board meetings and procedures, we will start discussion relating to this set. We'll start discussion relating to this set. This set means, first of all, company formation and conversion. Company formation and conversion is somewhat easy. Why? Because you two also having lot of basic idea with respect to what is a company, what are the features of company, perpetual succession, common seal, limited liability and all, you very well know, no, right? So this will be very easy. And investments and loans, quantitatively very low, quantitatively also very low. In your material also, in your board material also, topics related to investments and loans discussion is very low. The main focus in the chapter is to discuss with related to intercorporate investments and loans only. So it will be completed within 1 or 2 days, not more than that. 1 or 2 sessions, not days. After that, dividends. This is also one of the easiest chapter in entire Companies Act. Hardly 2 pages or 3 pages it is there. After that, accounts and audit. This is somewhat lengthy. Not qualitatively, quantitatively. I think you all are very well aware about auditing. CM Enter Group 2, along with advanced accounting, the other 50 marks composition is auditing, no? Main portion in accounts and audit portion, around 50% of the subject is relating to auditing only. Very easy actually. After that, by this time, what are the topics we have completed, ma? Right. So only completed, only pending topics are inquiry, inspection, investigation, CAA, operation and mismanagement. All these things can be completed within 4 to 6 sessions. So this is how we are going to start our sessions, complete our syllabus. Okay. So tell me, ma, what is your paper number 13 structure? Weightage wise 60, 40. 60 plus 40 obviously 100. 60% name is what? Obviously corporate loss. 40 economic loss. Corporate loss, how many components are there? 3 components are there. First one, Companies Act, IBC 2016. IBC means Insolvency Bankruptcy Code. Third one, CGCSR SD. Corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, sustainability development. Clear? Next thing, after completion of this 60%, we'll start 40%. So before we'll start this 40%, let's tell me how many subtopics are there in Companies Act? 9 subtopics. So first 4 one set: company formation and conversion, investments and loans, dividends, accounts and audit. This is one set. Next 2 one set: directors and KMP, BOD meetings and procedures. Last 3 one set: III, CAA, O&M, operation and mismanagement. This Companies Act also completed. And what is the teaching order? Tomorrow we are going to start with directors and KMP, directors and key managerial person. Okay. So 60% completed. 40% economic loss. First set, SEBI, competition, FEMA. SEBI, competition, FEMA. SEBI quantitatively very low. Only 3 topics are there. IPO, insider trading, takeover code. IPO, initial public offer. Insider trading, takeover code. These are the 3 topics that are there in FEMA. Sorry. SEBI. Next, competition. After that, FEMA. Next, banking and insurance loss. Weightage with respect to banking and insurance loss is comparatively low. I'm not saying that completely you can ignore. I'm not saying that we are going to complete the same coaching in our classes, whether you will cover or not. If you wish to cover in a last portion. That is what I am saying. That is my intention. After that, another 3 topics are there. MSME, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, MSMED Act 2006, Cyber Laws, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So with this, we will complete the entire corporate and economic laws discussion. And it is my promise that you will feel CEL is the ultimate easy subject in entire group 3. I'm not saying that remaining subjects are tough and you will feel difficulty and all. The subject you can score more marks in a convenient way, provided if you follow the institute's orders. Okay, you have to maintain the attendance. That is what I am saying. Second one, follow the instructions, whatever materials or topics we are saying, we are teaching in the classes. Try to remember and recollect. If any doubts, we can freely come to us and clarify. That is the thing. And question banks and MCQs also. With respect to materials, yes. Now listen. With respect to materials, 2 kinds of materials you will get. 1, concept book. 2, workbook. I'll tell you. With respect to books. So first one, concept book. Concept book, hardly they may give you in 2 modules. Actually 2 modules are ready here. So they may give 2 modules on a one set, or they may give 2 modules at different sets. Module 1 and module 2. Sir, what is module 1 containing? Module 1 is containing 60% of syllabus. I think you you know what is 60%. Cost auditor, corporate loss. Very good, Batkincher. So concept book module 1 contains 60% corporate loss module. So complete concepts relating to corporate loss will be there in that 60% book. And module 2, obviously 40%. Economic loss concept book will be provided as module 2. This is module 2. After that, workbook. What is this, workbook? Sir, what is workbook is containing? Yes, workbook is containing all the question and answers. Questions and answers of corporate laws and economic laws. Why? Because in this module, in this concept book, module 1 and module 2, you can easily understand the concepts, but how to answer the questions? For a given question, how much answer you should write? What must be the quantity of the answer, and what are the points you have to include? So you have to know it. That is why question and answers book we will separately giving in the name of workbook. So it will be containing only question and answers. No, obviously MCQs are going to include in that book also. Sir, MCQs means what kind of MCQs? Whatever the MCQs so far released from ICMA, and all those MCQs are going to be there in workbook. Sir, if I am able to cover MCQs in workbook, how many marks I can score, sir? On an average basis, on a general case, if you are able to complete MCQs in this workbook, you will score 30 marks out of 30 marks. Average, but general case I am saying. If examiner gives the paper on a free note or a liberal note, sometimes examiner will intentionally try to test students from very rich corner topics, and he will try to frame at least 1 to 2 MCQs on a very difficult manner. Sir, if it is the case, then only hardly 1 MCQ will be come out of this material. hardly one. That means you can score at least 28 to 30 marks just by revising MCQs in the workbook. Sir, how you are saying? There is a reason, I'll tell you. And whatever the MCQs that are there, I'm not taking any individual credit, ma. That MCQs are not framed by me. The same MCQs has been framed by institute only. I just compiled the ICMA resources. I just compiled last 10 attempts papers. 10 years paper, not 10 attempt, not 10 years papers, 10 attempts paper. That means 5 years paper. That is more than enough. That is why I am confidently saying 28 marks guaranteed. Or if no difficulty has been increased in the level of asking questions and all, can easily score 30 marks. That is the material thing. So these are the 3 books which you are going to receive, and on a complimentary basis. This is just complimentary. We are not charging anything for this book, and I think in the fees every books are also included. And from my end, I will be providing handwritten book at the end of the discussion. Sir, end of the syllabus. Sir, what is the use of that handwritten book? So, first of all, there is ICMA book, board book. In order to simplify the board book, we are releasing concept books. But you should be able to answer the questions in examination. That is why, in order to simplify it, we are releasing workbook. But for revision purpose, in order to simplify and in order to help the students in a better way, we are releasing handwritten book. Handwritten book is nothing but it is a shortcut of whatever the topics we have discussed so far. Say for example, one chapter completed, that chapter entire concept will be designed in a one single PDF, and it will be shared with you all in the Telegram. At the end of syllabus also, we are going to share all compilation of all handwritten books of individual chapters compiles one big handwritten book. For easy reference purpose and quick revision, it will be helpful in your revisionary exams manner. Sir, I wish to complete one chapter within 5 to 10 minutes, sir. Please refer the handwritten book. It is very much easy. For that purpose, we are giving handwritten book. We are not charging anything for handwritten book, and handwritten book is completely given with a noble motive to help the students in their preparation. That's it. Why can't you give handwritten book? Why don't you give? That is not your right. You may demand concept book. You may demand workbook. That is your right. You can't demand handwritten book. We are going to share handwritten books, man. Nothing to worry. Already completed also. I'll show you one thing. Say for example, this is IBC, CAA, dividends, investments and loans. Where it is? I think I didn't include it in this tab. I wish to show tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show what is the handwritten book of director's chapter. What is the handwritten book of director's chapter? Then you will realize what is meant by handwritten book and all. Okay, so the entire handwritten book of director's chapter hardly 10 page, less than 10 pages only. Why I have why tomorrow? I'll show you now only. Why? Because for your senior students I have already shared, files. Yes, handwritten notes on directors and KMP. So look at this thing, ma. I think is it visible or not? For video purpose it may be not visible, but for you somewhat it is visible, right? So this is directors and KMP, and this is the ultimate discussion or flow charts or whatever, with whatever name you may call. Few faculties or few institutes are selling the same by making it a name chart notes, flow charts, or just recently I came across a different name, quick book, crisp book. Okay, raw material is same, but names will change. And something one different kind of name I have heard. The content is same. Whatever the topics or flowcharts they are giving in an exclusive way. So this is the entire handwritten book relating to directors and KMP chapter. We are going to discuss the same. This 10 pages handwritten book we are going to discuss 10 days. Ma, can't we discuss the same within 1 hour, 1.5 hours? I'll attach the same to my tab and will go flow like this. So it is not beneficial for students. Maybe beneficial for me in order to complete the syllabus or in order to go for Guinness World Records and all. CMA paper 13 syllabus completion within 1 day. Marathons or whatever EO batches like that, or the fast track classes possible. But what is the use? For regular batch student, we have to do more justice rather than anyone. So that is why we are going to discuss the same directors and KMP for coming 10 to 15 days. There is no time limit also. వెళ్ళినన్ని రోజులు వెళ్తూ ఉంటుంది అంతే. But ultimately whatever the deadlines institute told you, any deadlines they mentioned? By December, group 3 2 subjects, group 4 2 subjects will be completed by December. What I have told previously, September 30, 60% will be completed. October 30, even though if we enjoy Dasara holidays, Diwali holidays, and all holidays, and if I take 1 week break for EVO batch and any other batch, October 30, conveniently we can complete. November 5, November 10, November 15, November 30. What is the deadline? December 31st. Okay, so November కూడా వద్దు. No need to November 30 also not needed, ma. October 30 we can confidently and comfortably we can plan. Nothing more required, and hardly you will get 100 hours content, ma. 100 to 120 hours, approximately 120 hours you will get. 120 hours means, say for example, if you wish to revise, say for example, directors and KMP chapter only or another chapter only, if you wish to revise, yes, you can again listen. Okay, so regular coaching will be flooded with you for on an average each subject 120 hours. Each subject is more and more beneficial from students' point of view. Why? Because you are aiming for June attempt. Sufficient and abundant time is there for all of you to prepare on a calm and comfortable way. Simple. Okay, so that's all about paper number 13. I think you all got the clarity how we are going to discuss and how we are going to complete, and what kind of topics we are going to start first, and what kind of topics we are going to start next, and what kind of topics to be prioritized, and what kind of topics to be prioritized on a last or least basis. I think you got the clarity. Okay, from tomorrow onwards we can directly jump into content discussion. And one more thing, I think Bhaskar sir, I think already told you, don't ignore revision exams and weekly exams. Weekly exams, you may think or you may take it on a lighter note, but do spare at least 2 hours or 1 hour in entire 1 week. On Sunday we will conduct examination. Don't try to skip that examination. But why? Because whatever the content you have learned throughout the week, it is going to be tested in that one exam only. Don't take it on a light way. Okay. And after that, being you are all regular batch students, revision exams will be complimentary for all of you. Please do take advantage of that regular exams or revision exams also. Revision batches, institute will charge some amount from other students, but for all of you it is free only. So don't ignore revision exams also. Why? Because whatever the content you may learn, whether you digested the content or not, it is understandable or not, will be known to you only if you face the examination. You know the content, but you have to express the content on exam paper. How come you know whether you completely know the subject or not? By attending examinations only. So don't take it on a lighter note. Do participate to the maximum possible, to the extent possible. Do participate in all the weekend examinations as well as revision examinations. All of you, if you plan properly, all of you is going to succeed the June attempt. Be confident and be positive. We have abundant time. Abundant time is there, and if you properly utilize this time, it is very much possible for all of you to complete in the upcoming attempt. Okay, right. So tomorrow, which topic we are going to start tomorrow? Directors and KMP we are going to start. That is the teaching order. After that, BOD, meetings and procedures. Meanwhile, admin team will give you materials and all. And I am saying once again, I am saying the same thing. Try to maintain the attendance on a consistent way, which is very much required from CMA final students especially. Okay, right. We can continue the discussion tomorrow. Thank you.